Hello, welcome to my channel where we make the practice of quantity surveying uh, easier and interesting to practice. Uh, Thank you for staying tuned, and I also want to appreciate you for the support that you've shown to me by subscribing to my channel. Uh, I always would not take that for granted. I will always try to make sure that I feed us with informations that will be helpful to the practice of uh, quantity surveying at large. And we are going to be building up rates for uh, asphalt. And we are going to look at the binding costs and the wearing costs. And in this video, we are going to build up rate for the binding cost of 70 mm thick, while we're going to build up rate for the wearing cost for 50 mm thick. Uh, Basically, the equipment that is used for the tool are the same. Basically, the equipment that is used for the tool, they are the same. And the only thing that differs is the cost of the asphalt. The asphalt for binding cost is slightly lower in terms of cost to the wearing costs. And another thing that differs again is the coverage of laying for a 70 mm and for a 50 mm. There is a slight difference in terms of the coverage. Uh, like as you can see, I have the list of the equipment. Why you needed to know what you are pricing, know how it's being done on site. It will help you to know the equipment that are involved for the item you want to price. Like for the asphalt laying, you needed a paver, you needed a steel rolling compactor, you needed a soft tire rolling compactor, you needed a water tanker. Some will ask, what is the function of a water tanker in the laying of asphalt? I will explain. The two rolling compactor has a compartment where water needed to be filled inside of it that will lubricate the tire as it rolls over the freshly laid asphalt. And the purpose of this water lubricant is to prevent the freshly laid asphalt from sticking on the on the on the tires, and also help smoothen the surface. That stream of water on the on the tire helps to smooth the wearing course and makes it look smoother. And the most important aspect is the aspect of not allowing the uh, the asphalt getting stuck on the rollers. So, and another thing we needed to know is what is the coverage of a ton of uh, asphalt for different thickness. If you don't know this, you don't know how to calculate what is the coverage for a thorn, you can be deceived on site, because basically we have a so-called experts out there that are not properly, they are not trained, but over time, because they've worked overtime on the road, on road work, they assume to be expert in it, so they can always tell you uh, what is the likely coverage, which might sometimes be true and sometimes might not be true. But if you can compute it yourself, you see what is the margin difference between what you are told and what is the actual. And before we go to the pricing proper, we will go to the calculation to see how we arrive at the coverage that I'm using here as 4.6 square per, that is for a 1 ton. It covers a 4.6 square meter. First of all is to convert your square area to a volume by multiplying your 1 meter by 0.7, which is the 70 mm that you want to lay. Then after which you now add the bulking. You know, when it is freshly cooked and you're bringing it to site, it is in loose form. But by the time it is compacted, it shrunk to a certain thickness. So meaning that when you are laying the asphalt, for you to attain the thickness that it's specified in the bill, you are not going to lay exactly the thickness of 50 mm to achieve 50 mm. You're going to lay something in the range of 90 to compact to get 70 mm. And how did I arrive at it? Uh, for 1 square meter, after you multiply by 0.75, you have a 0.075 as the cubic meter, the volume. Then by the time you add the bulking of 35% on the original volume of 0.07, it gives you 0.09. So by this calculation, it tells you that your thickness is going to be at 90 to get 70. Then you now, when you want to now convert it to tonnage, the density of asphalt is 2.3, unlike the concrete, which you have uh, you have a 1.5 for sharp sand. You have between 1.45, depending on your source of sand. So for the asphalt is 2.3. So if you multiply by 2.3, your bulk and the actual volume, if you multiply it by 2.3, you have a 0.22 per square meter. It's 0.22 ton per square meter. That is what the tonnage you need for 1 square meter. So by the time for a 70 mm thick asphalt, by the time you want to convert it now to know how many square meter a ton will cover, it is now dividing 1 ton by 0.22. It gives you 4.6, and that is the 4.6 that I brought to this portion, this cell. Now we go to the pricing proper. Hot asphalt 1 ton is 126,500 plus 5% of the waste that you record during placing. After leveling the road and the rolling compactor has rolled on it, it is not it is not possible that you have everywhere leveled to the required, that is everywhere leveled. You must have some undulations where you have, say, maybe some portion is 0.5 milli deeper, some is 5 milli higher, some is 1 cm deeper. So those areas that the asphalt is going to fill up to give you the top level smooth, those waste has to be captured. And of course, during the raking and all of that, the rakers will not rake everything properly. So definitely there are going to be some little waste by the edges of the road. So that is accounted, the 5% accounts for all of those waste. So that has been captured with this. That is what makes the 5% now meet the 1 ton to be 132. Then the cost per ton to transport 1 ton of asphalt is 6,500 naira. You add that to the cost of asphalt, it gives you 139 to 325. Then you divide 139 325 by the 4.6 square meter per ton. It gives you 30,000 for the cost of the asphalt. Then now you're bringing in the equipment, the cost of equipment for the paver. The daily cost of the paver is 150. The daily cost of the steel rolling compactor is 100,000. The soft tire compactor is a 150,000. Then the water tanker is a 120,000 per day. Then the volume, the cost of the consumption ratio of the consumption of the fuel consumption for this equipment is for the paver is 100. For the steel rolling compactor is a 50 liters. The tire rolling compactor is a 50 liters. Then the water tanker, because you don't know the source where it goes to get the water. If it is very close, then it will be lesser. But if it's going very far, then of course, I'm taking 80 liters. So the total liter for the day is 280 liters multiplied by 1,200 gives you 336,000 for fueling. Then, of course, operators, mind us, if the cost of the equipment is inclusive of the operator, then this is not required. But the rakers, of course, you must employ the services of rakers. They come with the expert in raking, they come with the paver, but you have to pay separately. Say you are going to engage a 12 number rakers that will be raking, shoveling, wheeling, moving the ones that are in excess to the next place ahead of the paver. So you are taking you are taking 12 rakers, you are taking 4 labor. And the cost for sweeping, before you lay the binding course, you need an MC1 that you're going to spray. You're going to spray an MC1 with sharp sand sprinkle on it. So you need to clean up the sharp sand. So the cost of cleaning the sharp sand, say the coverage for the total area that the paver is going to lay per day is 202,400 square meter. And the cost for cleaning, sweeping the sharp sand on the MC1 is 100 naira per square meter. So you will now have the 240,000 for the cleaning. Then mobilization of this equipment, the paver does not work on the road, the rolling compactor does not work on the road, the two rolling compactors, they don't work on the road. And the cost for tow and fro from the site is 300,000. And this equipment are 3 in number. So it gives me 900,000 for the mobilization and demobilization. So I now have the total cost of the equipment as 2,060,000 thousand. And the total output per day for this equipment is 2,400 square meter. So if you divide 2 million by 2,400 meter, you're going to have 858,858 naira. In addition to 30,000 gives you 31,140 per square meter. Then, of course, if you're going to the cost for supervision, accommodation, security, welfare, safety, that has to be calculated uh, separately, depending on how heavy your preliminaries want to be. So whatever you calculate, say like I used to say, let's assume you're only coming to do this job. But if the bill has a lot of items, you are building up your prelims for all of the items, then before, if you want to know what the cost will be. But normally it's always very ideal that the preliminary be dealt in isolation so that in case the issue of claims arises, it will be more easier to handle than you building up your rate into the unit rate. Then it becomes a subject of uh, discussion how to convince your client that this is the actual cost for prelims from the cost of material and the equipment that you're going to use. So let's assume after calculating it, it's a 2,000 for the per square meter for the cost of the accommodation, that is the offices and all the canteen and all you want to build for your staffs, the toilets, the soccer way, the changing rooms and all of that. So the safety wares and all. So say a 2,000 is what by the time you divide it by the quantum of job you want to do is a 2,000 square meter, since it is just the asphalt you are offered to come and lay. So you say 2,000, it gives you 33,000. 33,000, then your overhead is a 20% of 33 gives you 6,000, and your profit is the 8% gives you 2,000. So the cost per square meter for a binding cost of 70 mm is 42,420, assuming this is right and this is right. The all other things are based on the current price as at today. But this one is determined by the size of your company. So whatever thing you need to change it to, the profit, the overhead, it is your choice. Then the the indirect cost, you know the project, you have the brief of the project you are pricing, you have the complete bill. So you are going to build up your indirect completely. Then it tells you what the cost is. Then the difference between the wearing cost, like I said, if you check the price here is 131,500, why here is it 126,500. So the price for the uh, the the price for the asphalt, hot asphalt, is different. Then because this is a 50 millimeter thick, the coverage is a 6.44 square meter that the 1 ton will cover. So it is the same process that I did up here that you have here. Density, the computation of the volume, the bulking, the bulking plus this, then the density multiplied gives you 0.16 divided by 1 meter, 1 cubic divide 1 ton divided by 0.6 ton of for a square meter gives you 6.4 square meter. So you can see that for the wearing cost is a 29,000 29,840, assuming you have the same 2,000 here as the cost of your prelims. So it gives you 32,405 naira per square meter. So this is how you can build up your rate for asphalting of road. Please, if these have been helpful, please help me share. Most importantly, subscribe to my page, leave a comment, like, comment, ask questions where necessarily you think I needed to clear more, do more clarification. I will surely attend to it. Thank you. Watch out for the price for the base cost. In my next video, I'm going to deal with that so that we can see we are gradually getting the taking care of the road aspect completely. See you next. Bye for now.